Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports pickup videos. This is an online pickup video, something I recently picked up on eBay. It was a decent price. It was something that was in my watch list for the longest time. And the reason I bought these was, I'm going to zoom out here for a second so I can show you this. A few years back in 2023, I went to an event in St. Louis and I had absolutely nothing for Cowboy Bob Orton to sign. Luckily, at that event, they were handing these posters out because they were having a big deal on May 13th of 2023 for the St. Louis Hall of Fame. And they handed this poster out, and Cowboy Bob was nice enough to sign that for me. Well, it got to me thinking, I said, I need something that's just really generic. Really generic for people to sign. And so I decided to grab a couple things off of eBay that in case that were to ever happen again, I have something for these people to sign. And it's very basic and plain, but I found a seller that was selling signed 8x10 printouts. Basically, this is some pretty decent card stock. It's not cheap loose leaf paper. It's pretty solid cardstock, but this is probably something they printed off at home, or maybe they had it digitally made. I don't know. But I bought this that was already pre-signed by 3 WWE Hall of Famers, or WWF Hall of Famers, along with 2 other ones. This is the same exact thing, just signed by, the same 2, Tito Santana and Tony Atlas. And I actually bought a third one with the WWF logo with just Tony Atlas. Well, I bought all 3 of these for roughly about $25 shipped. So I thought, if I ever get in a situation again where I run into a WWE, WWF legend, I at least have something generic for them to sign. Now, this is, as I said, the top one signed by Tito Santana and Tony Atlas, but the other one is signed by Coco Beware, with his, famous bird, and Bushwhacker Luke. So, kind of a nice little addition to my autograph collection. I am not a huge wrestling autograph collector, but you know what? I find myself sometimes going places where people are at that are former wrestlers. Like I remember a couple years back that one of the people that was being promoted to do an event at a stadium, one of the baseball stadiums I went to, was Sergeant Slaughter. And I remember some of my friends, because we're all baseball autograph collectors, was like, I'm going to go out and get a G.I. Joe card, for Sergeant Slaughter to sign. And, I regretfully did not go to that. And now I look back on that, I'm like, man, I probably could have got a Sergeant Slaughter autograph. Not that they're not out there, but it would have been neat to be able to get him to sign something like this. So, real quick, like I said, video, I just wanted to share with you a real quick pickup here. Nothing fancy. Just looking to expand my autograph collection and share it with you here on YouTube. As always, happy collecting.